Hey guys, welcome back to the ExamRevision YouTube channel. My name is Ellen and in today's video we're going to talk about the fact that your Leaving Cert is in 1 week and here's what you do. Some of you are probably not even on YouTube right now, you've probably deleted it from your phone, just studying, and that is great. But for those of you that are a little bit stuck, don't really know what you're meant to be doing in this last week, stressed, overwhelmed, this video is for you. The first thing I want to talk about is creating a realistic study schedule. This might sound so vague and so like everyone talks about it, but you have to do it. You really do. The Leaving Cert exams are in 1 week. You need to schedule out your time for how much time you have left, however many hours you have left, for specific subjects you feel like might need more time, subjects that are coming up closer, their exams are first, so obviously more time for them. All these kinds of things you need to factor in. You need to factor in time to actually relax when you're going to finish studying, when you're going to start studying, because if you don't, you're going to be so dilly-dally, every day is going to be different, you're not going to feel like you have enough time. You might spend too long on a subject which you don't have the time for. So just please make a schedule. I know obviously English, Irish and maths are coming up first, so maybe more time is allocated to them instead of like biology, chemistry and physics, which is like near the end of the course. I'm just quoting those subjects because they're the subjects I chose. But you really need to set a schedule. You need to be doing like the same things every day, waking up at the same time, starting studying at the same time, ending and going to sleep at the same time. You're going to be obviously already so exhausted, so overwhelmed, so just tired and done with it, and you just want to get it done and over with. So you really, to be honest, don't have the energy to be waking up every day, oh, what am I going to study today? Oh, I don't know, like, let's just do this because it's coming up and I don't feel very confident. You just need to have a schedule. If you're just dilly-dallying, studying random stuff every day, you're not going to maximize your time. It's going to come to the night before your exam and you're going to be like, oh my god, I still have to study this. And you just really need to overlook all of your subjects, what are important, what needs to be studied, and setting out time allocations for them. You might only have, I don't know, 15 hours left to study maths. Okay, what are you going to do in those 15 hours? You're going to do past papers, or you're going to revise this topic, or whatever. But it all needs to be in a schedule. You need to know exactly what you're studying each day, or else you're going to forget about things. You're going to say, oh, I don't want to study French, I hate French, I'll do it another day, I'll do it tomorrow. You're not going to do it tomorrow. It needs to be in a schedule. The next thing I'm going to be talking about, which I kind of touched on in some other videos, is focusing on important topics. If you are watching this video, you definitely need some help, which is so okay, most of us do. But if you're panicking, let's say maths is coming up in a week, what do? I don't feel confident in it. You need to be focusing on the big topics, the high yield topics that come up every single year. Same with any other subject. If you feel unprepared, if you feel overwhelmed, focus on the things that are always going to come up. That is what's going to maximize your marks. There's no point studying topics that may or may not come up anymore. It's too late for that, and it could end up just being a waste of time if it doesn't come up on the paper. So all the time you have now, this week before you're leaving cert, should all be time allocated to things that will come up. Going along with this, past papers. Honestly, this next week, past papers is really all you should be doing. Whether that's like a chill past paper session, doing your study, you're doing the papers, you're correcting yourself, you're doing the papers, correcting yourself, or whether that be timing yourself and doing a full paper in any subject, marking yourself, seeing how well you do. Both options are great. You'll probably do a mix of both because you can't always be under time pressure. It's going to be too much to do multiple papers for different subjects every single day. Obviously, you're still going to use your notes maybe to answer some of those questions, or if you're answering a question and you kind of forget about it, you're going to go and revise those notes on it. But you should just be doing past papers over and over and over again. And correcting yourself. They're no good if you're not correcting yourself. You've got to be marking yourself. If you get the question wrong, you have to see the correct answer and remember that, so if that exact question comes up on your paper, you know how to answer it and get full marks. Because a lot of questions are repetitive, a lot of questions, especially in the sciences, are the exact same. If you've already done like the past 10 years or something of past papers in a certain subject, you can either go back further, or I would also recommend revising past those other papers that you already answered. Hopefully you already have all of the answers that you've written on, all the ones you got wrong, revise through them, see what you got wrong again, rejig your memory and all of these things, because those exact questions might come up on your exam. Another thing that I love to do, especially the week before my Leaving Cert, is just talking to myself. It sounds delusional, I know, but it works. Especially for like essay type questions, or even questions where you have a bunch of points that you have to talk about in order to get the marks. I would like walk around my room, I would pace up and down, and just answer them out loud. Just talk about it, just answer them. Don't have your notes, don't have anything, just see what you can remember and what's already in your head. Even I would pace up and down with a past paper in front of me, printed out, and I would go to the short questions and I would answer them all either out loud or in my head. Especially when I got to like the night before the exam, I would literally be walking up and down, answering all these short questions over and over and over again. Instead of writing them down, saves a little bit of time. Obviously, I also want to touch on eating and sleeping well. This is also all part of creating that schedule. You want to make sure you have time for breakfast, lunch and dinner. You have time for when you're going to finish studying every single night at that time and go to sleep. You might give yourself an hour before you go to sleep to go on your phone, watch TV, whatever. But that's why the schedule is so important, because you need to be getting at least 8 hours of sleep every night. You might think it's a great idea now that it's week before your exam, cram everything, sleep a couple of hours a night. Honestly, worst idea ever. It's not going to work. Once your body and your mind is so tired, you're not going to retain any of that information anymore. So you need to just go to sleep. It's a waste of time being awake when you're already so exhausted and none of that information you're trying to cram is going into your head. So just go to sleep. Same with eating well. Eat, honestly, as much as you can. It's so important. I know that sounds stupid, eat as much as you can, but I really do believe that like eating really leads to like brain energy, and it also leads to you being able to intake more information and remember it better. So please just eat, eat, eat. Keep eating, snacking through your study all the time. The last thing I want to touch on is getting any materials that you need to get before the exam. Let's say if you have to bring your own logbook, or you need rulers, pens, pencils, you need a sharpener, an eraser, anything you need to get. I really hope that none of you have to go and get a new calculator. I really hope that you listened to me in the last video saying, do not get a new calculator a couple of weeks before your exam. All the calculators, the newer ones, are different. You're gonna have to learn to use it. So if you want to take that risk, do it if you have to get a new one. But do it now so you have a week to get used to it at least. But I really hope all of your calculators are working well. I'm not gonna lie, I would recommend bringing in 2 calculators into the exam. I know in my physics exam, someone's calculator broke, and I'm telling you now, you do not need that stress. And it actually happens. And I've seen it happen. So if you have 2 calculators, bring them. Just bring so many pens, so many pencils, everything. You do not want to leave yourself short. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video and it gave you some little tips for the next week ahead. Good luck in your studying, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye! Also guys, be sure to check out the exam revision courses and bundles. I actually have a 20% off code for you. I'll put it on the screen now. They cover majority of the Leaving Cert and Junior Cert subjects. They have H1 standard notes, video lessons, presentations, quizzes, exam questions, everything you will need to succeed in the Leaving Cert and Junior Cert.